probably like to throw this one low and away from Big Mac.
The payoff. Fly ball, deep right field. It is gone. Mark McGwire, number 45.
Now you see the importance of beating that double play ground ball and the liability of pitching to Mark McGwire with first base open. He doesn't hit many to right field, Wayne, but he got that one. And that's RBIs 103 and 104 as Big Mac delights the crowd. And as if to just show Sammy that I'm the champ, he homers right over his head.
That was a quick look up by Sammy and waved goodbye.
Watch it again. Now here's the difference. Jeff Reed wanted that one inside, and he got it out over the plate, and McGwire, who's a dead low ball hitter, took advantage. Yes, indeed. Hi, Mac. Number 70. If you keep throwing this guy low and out over the plate, he will do a lot of damage to you.
Jim Riggleman obviously not happy at all, and he's discussing things. Threw a board. This is McGwire's 45th of the season.
He got a 3-2 fastball. And unfortunately for Kyle Farnsworth, Jeff Reed wanted it inside. He didn't get it.
He come to the plate again. Sammy giving that gum a good chewing. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on McGwire. 1 on, nobody out. With a study of concentration on the face of Mark McGwire. Deep to left and goodbye. Mark McGwire, second homer of the game, 46th of the season. RBIs, 5 runs batted in for St. Louis tonight. The Cardinals lead 7-1.
Well, I'm not sure that's what Rod Beck had in mind when he called out Jeff Reed. He called him out, said whatever he said, and on the next pitch, Mark McGwire hit one a mile over the Chicago Cub bullpen. Sammy looking on as Big Mac has hit a pair. 3 hits, 5 driven in, 2 homers. What a hitter.
That was a shot. Man, oh man. There was no doubt about that one. Langford takes a pitch down low. Crowd is asking Mark for, and apparently he did take the curtain call. They want him to anyway. And he walked upstairs, from what we understand, and back to the clubhouse.
Let's take a look at McGwire as he gets yet another low pitch. And like Sammy Sosa, he knows it's going when it left the bat. If he can get him between the knee and the ankle, he will hit him and hit him consistently. And the Cubs keep throwing him down there.
Superstition. Were it not for Sammy and Mark McGwire, Cubs and Cards fans might have to resort to caffeine to keep themselves from nodding off this season. Sosa and Big Mac both on a pace to hit 62 homers heading into their weekend series. Meanwhile, their teams have combined 28.5 games out of first place. To Bush we go, and there's Big Mac. Perhaps you recognize him. Bottom of the third, 1 on, facing Kyle Farnsworth, and McGwire gets the best of that battle. 45th homer, 2-run shot, 3 for 4, 5 RBI in the game. Cards up 3-0 after 3. Bottom of the 8th now, Rod back in pitching to McGwire, and he serves one up. We'll do the math for you. That's number 46, NL high, 107 RBI now. And they add up another homer on the career mark, 503. Sosa, by the way, 0 for 2, K twice. He's 3 homers behind Big Mac this year. Cards go on to win at 7-1, 6th straight loss for the Cubs. They have dropped 41 of 59 and have now lost 8 in a row.
Prior to the one that got him in the first inning. So while While Drew is at the plate, we'll study Mark McGwire, what he does in the on-deck circle as he gets into that trance over there. Starts visualizing what he thinks he'll get from this left-hander, Bowie. Drew popped one into left field. That's a hit. We won't get much of a chance to watch McGwire in the on-deck circle. Here he comes to the plate with 2 on and nobody out. And another hit for Drew against a lefty.
And another chance. We saw Sammy Sosa not move the runner to third. You think McGwire will bunt here?
No chance with 2 on and nobody out. Unless you want to start a riot. People are not packed into this park to watch Sosa and McGwire move runners over.
Nope.
2 on, nobody out. McGwire hits one into left center field. We've seen another. Number 504 in his Major League career. Number 47 in 1999. With his 504th career home run. And, oh, by the way, it's a 1-run Chicago lead. Curtain call coming for McGwire after this swing to get Bowie.
High curveball. Whoop. 2 steps and it's gone.
Sammy Sosa. The bottom right picture. This crowd screaming for a curtain call, still standing. But they'll settle back in as McGwire rests in the dugout after that trot.
1998, in Mark McGwire's 118th game, he hit his 47th home run. 1999, in his 118th game, he hit his 47th home run.
Right on the pace of a year ago when he hit 70 home runs, which included, by the way, 5 over the final weekend here at home against the Montreal Expos. And if you think this is fun, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs will hook up here in St. Louis the final 3 games of the 1999 season. And it could be a head-to-head matchup of Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire going 1-on-1 for the home run title in 1999. The final 3 dates of this regular season. Talked about Mark McGwire and those charges of not playing the team game. Here's what he had to say about it.
The trade deadline is they were trying to justify how they should trade me because home runs aren't doing the job for the Cardinals. I didn't know when home runs weren't a big deal for any team, you know, and it's all I know is when you as myself as an individual can prepare himself every day to do what he's capable of doing, and he puts out the numbers every year, how can that be selfish? I'm helping.
1 out, nobody on, and Santiago fouls one away. I think well said, and obviously he's a guy who has thought about those charges for the last few years, and I thought put it well when we asked him the question in response to the same charges being levied against Sammy Sosa.
When Mark McGwire put his pitching toe away in the early 80s at the University of Southern California, he started hitting home runs, and he has not stopped. Is he a winner? Consider the fact that he played on 3 pennant-winning Oakland Athletics teams. 88, 89, that won the World Series against San Francisco. 1990, 4 league championship series. So any intimation that he is not a winning ball player, or just solely that his whole career has been a guy who hits home runs away from winning ball clubs is ludicrous.
And I'm on my way. I don't know where I'm going. I'm on my way.
Oh, baby, what a ball!
I don't know where.
The 16th player in Major League history to hit 500 home runs.
I know you're both very disappointed with the way that your teams
have played. I know talking to you, Mark, this is all well and good, but it's time to start playing team baseball again.
Well, that's my whole emphasis. That's why we play the game of baseball. We don't play. Individual accomplishments just come with hard work, but it's winning baseball is the main objective for being here. And it doesn't take Sammy. It can't take just me to win a championship. We're pieces of each team's pie.
Along those same lines, Sammy, I've read some articles now out of Chicago where they say Sammy doesn't want to play the team game. He's only out there trying to hit home runs and trying to do his thing.
If somebody want to say some negative stuff, that's his problem. I think that everybody that saw me play every day, I'm going out there every day trying to win every day. It's not probably in the situation because every year Mark and I have such a great year, and regardless, our team play the way that they play, but we still produce, and pretty much that create a lot of jealousy.
You ever hear any of that stuff?
Oh, all the time. There was an article in St. Louis a week or two ago saying before the trade deadline they were trying to justify how they should trade me because home runs aren't doing the job for the Cardinals. I didn't know when home runs weren't a big deal for any team.
Did that upset you? What was written?
I laughed at it. First of all, the writer is not a sports writer. He's like a regular writer for the rest of the paper, but he's never around here, and it's just not good because people out there believe what people write and what they say on TV, and when it comes from the horse's mouth, that's what you should believe.
We've done an interview. You've not said that Mark's the man yet. I don't know if you realize that. And this guy last year said, I remember him saying, you know what would be a perfect ending if we ended up the season tied. Did you at any point believe that?
I was so happy myself when I saw him hit number 62 against us, and I was clapping and came down to right field and say congratulations. When he hit his 500 home run, I sent a memo. They say congratulations.
Yeah. First one I got.
And you're going to be forever linked with Sammy Sosa.
Why not? It's something that we both can be proud of.
Today, I would like to invite you to my real home, the Dominican Republic.
Do his ads make you want to go to the Dominican?
Well, I'm going to have an ad for come on to America. This is Mark McGwire. This is my country. Come to America. The only problem is you got to pay taxes. Sorry.
Last year, these guys captivated the country with their home run chase. This year, they're bad guys because they're doing the same thing. I don't understand this. I know it's a stretch to call myself a member of the media, but come on, this is ridiculous. They can't help it because they play on two teams that stink.
Selfishness becomes selflessness if there's nothing else going on in those franchises.
That's right. You're exactly right. Nothing else is happening.
The Cubs and Cards, Sammy and Mac, the Orioles and the Indians, or the Reds.
Big. Speaking of big, Phillies in St. Louis, and there is Big Mac. Bottom of the first.
Oh, McGwire.
He drives one against OJ.
Watch that, baby.
Chad OJ.
Mark McGwire.
48th home run of the season. St. Louis leads 3-1. They lead 5-3 to the Cardinals. Top of the 8-2 on 2 out for Mike Lieberthal. Rips Rick Croushore out of the park. 3-run shot, 25th of the season. Phils go up 6-5, and that's your final. Not a bad day for Lieberthal.
The first time in his career. And Big Mac takes it down low. If fans came out early and finally got to see Mark McGwire take BP.
An expensive BP for the New York Mets it was, too. No, I guess St. Louis plays for their own baseballs in batting practice, don't they?
They have to. 1-0 delivery to him. McGwire, of course, now finds himself in the unusual situation of being 3 home runs behind Sammy Sosa, as Sosa has climbed to 51 homers. There are a few occasions when McGwire falls behind that he doesn't deliver a home run to match Sosa. See what I mean? Goodbye, home run, McGwire. 49.
Number 16,
Well, those people in New York may pull for the Mets, but when they come to Shea Stadium and you got a player like Mark McGwire, well, you tip your hat, and it's a wonderful thing to see what he has meant to baseball in the last 2 years, and where that ball hit to the opposite field. I could talk for a half an hour and couldn't explain how big that is. That is incredible, unbelievable. That ball hit up by the third base, where the third baseman is shown on the left field lineup card.
And Ray Langford's got an extra base hit. Ricky Henderson over, Langford going into second base with a double. So Octavio Dotel being treated rudely here in the first inning by the Cardinals. They have 2 home runs and a double and a 2-0 lead.
Look at the home run here. This is the McGwire home. Look where that ball hit. That thing hit up there. It looked like between where McGwire's name is on the Cardinal lineup. I'm dumbfounded. It's almost impossible for it has to be impossible for a right-handed hitter to hit a ball that far. Willie McCovey hit one about that high in this ballpark that I saw that was over way to the right of that screen, of that scoreboard in right center field. Look where this ball hits. This ball hit, I've never seen a ball from a right-hander hit that high. Impossible. That ball is flying. Now that's a huge man. And he was hitting balls like that in batting practice. That's a scary thing.
Now Fernando Tatis. It doesn't get any easier in this Cardinal lineup. For Mark McGwire, it is his 10th career home run against New York. He's had 6 home runs in 10 games here at Shea in his career. Cardinals have a 2-0 lead, and Dotel, young 23-year-old, trying to settle in here. You can get rattled when you watch balls hit like that. Fernando Tatis takes the off-speed pitch inside, 1-1.
We're talking about Dotel being an emotional young pitcher on the mound. One of the things that Dave Wallace does in a situation like this where he could become unraveled, Wallace right out there. Just don't worry about it. You've got good stuff. Go ahead and pitch your game. We'll get you a couple of runs to make sure that he doesn't totally lose it on the mound from an emotional standpoint. It's something that Wallace has decided to do. Keep his pitcher's feet on the ground. That's where it hit. That looks like about where it hit, right in that area.
It broke the light bulb, Tom.
That's impossible.
502 feet is the estimated distance on that home run by a right-hander to right center. 3 ball, 1 strike count on Tatis.
What's the estimated?
501 to right center. See how it's all lit up? Now watch the light
right
glow.
Here, right there. Right in there. Look at that.
That's unbelievable.
It's impossible to do.
That's the light that's gone.
And they'll give McGwire the bill on that, too.
Oh, man. And he walked him. So Fernando Tatis draws the walk. Runners on at first and second now with 1 out.
Right fielder Willie McGee.
This will give you some sort of perspective of what we're talking about.
Look how high that is. That is halfway up the scoreboard.
That's almost in the takeoff pattern from LaGuardia right there.
There'd have been one going by. Someone would have had a souvenir on their way to Europe.
You know what they're going to be able to talk to someone? This is going to be like skeet shooting out of here.
See if you can hit one of McGwire's balls before it comes down. Here's the veteran Willie McGee. McGee 211 right-handed, 256 left-handed. He's got it. Now to retire the Cardinals, but not before they deliver a couple of home runs and 3 runs and 1 for the ages. Mark McGwire, 500 plus. See what I mean? Halfway up the scoreboard. McGwire. And broke the light. Inning yesterday, today off Dotel. First inning, picked up 3 and the long ball.
Leading off the gate, Joe McCuing, fastball up in the strike zone, middle in, not in far enough. And then look at this pitch. That was right on the crosshairs of home plate. And Mark McGwire, I'm a right-handed hitter. I have never in this ballpark seen a ball hit that far. I've seen left-handers maybe hit them that far, opposite direction, but that was a monster. Now, when they measure home runs, like you said, it was 503 feet or 501,
502, yeah.
502?
Estimated.
Is that estimated from ground to ground, or do they... It has to be. It can't be where it stops against the scoreboard, or...
I'm gonna ask
we gotta
about
find that out.
We'll ask Jay when they measure these home runs. It's done, of course, by measurements done before the season starts, different parts of the ballpark, so they can do a pretty good estimate. But are they counting where it hit the scoreboard? It's 396. Breaking ball. Oliver's got a base hit. So the opposing pitcher, Darren Oliver, who's a good hitter, I mean a good hitter, batting .255 coming into the game, gets his 15th hit of the year and 56 at-bats. Leadoff single in the second inning. We'll ask just how they measure the homers.
As Gary said, Oliver, a good hitter with a good swing. And when you get a ball that's up in the strike zone, look at the height of that ball. He saw it was a breaking ball and double clutched and a little bloop to left center. It's got to be where the ball comes down, where they project the ball to come down. Has to be.
Has to be.
Has to be where they assume where it's going to hit the ground.
Boy, I'll tell you, it's 396 to that gap. It's halfway
so
up
that's
the scoreboard.
That's 400. It's got to be.
So I mean, they're saying 501.
That's longer than 500.
That ball's not going to come down to 550 or more away, I would think, if it kept on going
to the opposite field.
Yeah. Looking at the shot, that is really an amazing home run. He's hit a lot of them, but that's one of them. Joe McEwing batting .290 now, got his 8th home run, his first time up. Dotel gets it in on him, 0-2.
And you know what? Somebody will ask him after the game, did you think it was gone when you hit it?
He'll say what he said for the last 5 years. I knew it was gone when I hit it.
Did you think it was gone when you... You mean from the state or the ballpark?
Yeah. Gone is relative. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Breaking ball inside to him, 1-2. Despite all these home runs McGwire gets, the Cardinals, I say only, and again that's relative, are 6th in the league in homers. You might think that they are going to be, as a team, up there at 1 or 2 with McGwire on it, and Tatis, and Langford. But 6th is where they come in home runs in the league. McEwing, 1-2 delivery to him, and he fouls it back. 26 years old. 375 lifetime hitter. McEwing against the Mets. Big Mac waiting. He even rumbles while he's waiting, doesn't he? All right, Mr. Seaver. Here's a bobbin head doll man who's going to take you on right here.
Hey, I love these bobbin head
You
doll
love
men.
these, don't you?
I do. They're my favorites.
They are.
I would never say anything bad about just a bobbin head doll man, no matter who's getting it off of there.
Bobbin head doll man agrees. See? You add a little muscle to your lineup, bobbin head doll man, and suddenly he's all for you.
I'm bringing the Seaver bobbin head doll man. I'm bringing it in next trip. I am. And I'm smashing it right here in the booth. We're going to drop a book on it.
There you go. Little bobbin head doll man and his menacing compatriot, who's got Seaver saying good things about him now. 2-0 count. I always knew you felt that way anyway. Benny Agbayani.
You mean I'm political in the sense that I don't want McGwire to break my back?
You're smart. That's called smart. Right. Yeah. Yes. Agbayani takes it up high, and a 3-0 count in a hurry. Ordonez, Dotel due up for the Mets here in the 3rd inning. They're fixing the light. McGwire batted out with that home run. And by the way, we checked on the measurement of home runs. They try and figure where the ball would land. So if the scoreboard wasn't there and the ball kept going, the computer tries to give you the location where it would fall and what the distance would be. They said 502 on that one.
Now what they're saying here, I think McGwire's all-time high is 525. What they're saying on this computer, I mean, are they taking the trajectory of the ball?
Yeah, they've done measurements, as we said, around the ballpark, and they figure a trajectory, and that's all supposed to be in there. And Benny Agbayani's in there with a base hit. Second hit for the Mets. Take a look at our Toyota out-of-town scoreboard. Not a lot of games underway, obviously, with this game starting at 12 noon Eastern time. Cincinnati continues on their roll. We'll keep an eye on these scores as we go through our doubleheader today. Mets and Atlanta tied for first. The Central, Houston's got a game lead over Cincinnati. Arizona 7.5 over the Giants in the West. The National League wild card.
The power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
Mark McGwire 3 times to the plate here this afternoon so far. Home run is 49th the first time up. Fastball would have split the crosshairs. And that's the last time up. A good off-speed pitch by Octavio Dotel. Mac, the home run the first time up, was right on it. Just missed a home run the second time up. Popped it up. And Dotel, good pitching the last time up, pulled the string. And you could see McGwire was way out in front. Easy ground ball to shortstop.
And McGwire takes it inside. 49 home runs now. A league-leading 115 runs batted in. McGwire and Sosa, incredibly, have a shot at 70 again. Towering fly ball, left center field. Dunston at the wall, looking up, and he can't get it. Number 50 for Mark McGwire. Two-home run game, his 7th multi-home run game of the year. And he has now won behind Sammy Sosa, and he has reached the 50 mark again. Ray Langford takes a strike on the outside corner.
Take a look at it again. I mean, just awesome power. And Dunston in center field looked like he was playing, like he had a shot at the ball, and it was caught. It looked like it was caught by somebody in the stands in left center field, right over that 396 mark. Dunston actually jumped for that ball. He had to miss it. He had to miss it by 30 feet. He got back to the dugout, and it looked like McGwire gave the bat away or gave it to somebody. Whether that bat will end up in Cooperstown at the Hall of Fame, I don't know. He walked away and took a bat and gave it to another individual on the bench. A guy that knows his place in history, understands his place in history. I read an article 3 weeks, a month ago, said he might not play after he gets by 500. It'd be a sad state for baseball.
Towering fly ball by Langford to right. Agbayani will move under this one. Sammy Sosa is getting to watch all of this because Chicago, playing at home against Colorado, just about ready to get underway. So Mark McGwire reaches the 50 home run mark again. Continues to pile up the incredible numbers. As he's having, as we said, he and Sammy Sosa both with a shot at 70 again. It was a doubleheader just about a year ago here at Shea Stadium, where he had a big home run last year. He hit his 50th of the season. Here, Agbayani will get underneath it, and Fernando Tatis is the second out. Take a look at the last 3 years for Mark McGwire. This season he's up to 50 already. Of course, the all-time mark of 70 hit last year with 509 at-bats, and 58 in 97 in 540 at-bats. So 3 times up over that 50 mark and the all-time mark last year of 70. Willie McGee with 2 down, outside for a ball.
That's where the first home run hit. That's way to the left side of the scoreboard. That's impossible to hit. A right-hand hitter hit the ball up there. It is impossible, but McGwire did it. And there you saw in left center field in the bleachers, home run. Mark McGwire, when he travels, goes into a hotel, has to go in and under an assumed name, fictitious name. Can't go out for dinner. All those kinds of things you deal with on the other side of the coin. And he said, well, I get to 500, I may quit. He understands his place in history. I asked a few people on the field before the game today. I said, McGwire going to keep playing or is he going to quit? I said, no, he'll play. He'll play another 4 or 5 years. He knows. He understands it. You get periods where you're saying, I've had it with the travel, I've had it with the inconvenience, yada, yada, yada. Can't go out of your room, can't move, can't go to a restaurant. All goes with the territory. But he knows where he fits.
Mark McGwire was the first player to hit 50 or more home runs in 3 straight seasons. With that swing of the bat, he is the first player to hit 50 or more home runs in 4. Well, the Cardinals continue to add not only to their lead, but to the all-time numbers.
And what a moment. 50th home run. But you know what, folks? That was 50 last year. Watch the swing and how identical. And here we are today. Boom, almost to the day. 50th last year on August 20th. And today, almost the identical swing. You talk about home run hitters getting in the groove. Those two swings, virtually a year apart, yet almost identical.
Well, the Mets have to battle back against both Oliver and McGwire. McGwire with the 2 RBIs, 2 home runs. They've had a total of 3. McEwing had the other. They've got a 5-1 lead.
Well, he set a new career. Then he made that major league debut here in New York. 2 balls, 2 strikes. McGwire at the plate. Goodbye if it's fair. Down the line, it is foul. Ooh. A rocket blast from McGwire, and it just missed being number 49. You're not going to see that again. Curveball. Whack. 5 feet. Anyway. First curveball I threw today, and it had to be to McGwire. I'm not going to do that again. Go back to the sinker away.
Hi, folks. Welcome to Baseball Tonight. I'm Carl Ravitch. Mark McGwire's taken this been there, done that thing to a new level. He arrived at Shea with a chance to hit another historical home run. Last year in front of the Mets fans, he belted the 400th of his career. Also hit his 50th of the season. That shot came in the 7th inning of Game 1 of a doubleheader. Sitting now on 48, playing a doubleheader at Shea. No way, man. No way can that happen. McGwire, would it? Well, in the first, the Cards are up 1-0. He's facing Octavio Dotel, and ding-dong, pitch dead. Watch where this thing lands, if it ever does. Number 49 for McGwire off the scoreboard. He actually broke part of the 6 in the 16. 502 feet. Uh-oh, here we are in the 7th inning. Game 1, doubleheader, sitting on 50.
And a 1-0 pitch. He's 1 away from 50. And there's a drive. Left center. Dunston back, and it's gone. Number 50 for Big Mac.
Been there, done that. First ever to hit 50 in 4 straight seasons. But on the bottom of the 8th, the Mets come back down 6-1. They're loaded for John Olerud. Hasn't homered since July 30th. Grand slam. The Mets say they never were worried about being down 5. Now they're down 1. Next batter, Mike Piazza. He's hit a few since July 30th, and he goes to center field and gone. From 6-1 to 6-6. Mets bench, never concerned. Now elated. In the 9th, tied at 6, Armando Benitez comes on to face Fernando Tatis. With 1 out, J.D. Drew's 15th steal of the season. 2 pitches later, double play gets him out of this mess. Tatis to third. Ventura fields 1 to first. Not in time. Benitez says yes, it was in time. Looked like Olerud had to step off the bag to make the grab. And the Cards lead 7-6. See the left foot come up to the bottom half of the 9th. Ricky Henderson, Vitalico, inside out. Down the line and right. Ricky was 3 for 4 in the game, and the Mets have come back again to tie this thing at 7. Next batter, Edgardo Alfonso. second and third. Chance to be a hero. And through. Matt Franco scores. So the Mets down 6-1 at one point and 7-6 come back and win 8-7. Tony La Russa disappointed despite McGwire's.
Valentine called the longest one he's ever seen. 31 of McGwire's 50 homers this season have come during losses, a major league record. Following the festivities, McGwire spoke about his place in history.
For me, if you want to look at it, I'm chasing myself. So, I mean, how can you get excited about that? You know, and I'm not big on that. What does it mean? I think what it means is we'll find out when I'm retired. Last year, I did something that Ruth never did, and now I'm just setting a precedent for other people to break.
Over the last 4 seasons, McGwire has 230 homers. No other player in the majors even has 200 over this stretch. And for comparison's sake, 230 home runs happens to be the same number Mike Piazza has hit over his 8-year career. Back
home 4. In Montreal tonight, Mark McGwire seemed to be very loose, which is more than could be said for his manager, Tony La Russa. However, La Russa had to like this. The Big Mac blasting his 51st home run of the season, tying Sammy Sosa for the home run lead. The Cards, though, lost the game 8-4. Briefly, the Cubs acquired left-handed pitcher Joey Nick.
Montreal before the game, having his fun with Edgar Renteria.
Last year. This past weekend.
And then in the game,
wow, we've got kissing, we've got hugging.
Top of the first, having his way with Javier Vasquez. Taking the hanger to the cleaners. Well over 123 meters. 51st home run of the year, 14th first inning blast. That leads the majors. But in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Un retrait. La balle cassante frappée seulement en direction de champ centre. À la piste de l'avertissement. Circuit Mark McGwire.
Son 51e, la balle cassante qui demeure suspendue. Big Mac loin au champ centre. Regardez ça, la balle elle demeure là. Oh, oubliez ça. Et aussitôt frappé, tout le monde regarde, dit non.
Souviens-toi, Roger.
Marlins, Cardinals. Mark McGwire looking to break Lou Gehrig's record for homers by a first baseman. Keep in mind, a year ago Wednesday, McGwire also against the Marlins, against Livan Hernandez, out to center, number 56 of 98, tying Hack Wilson's National League record. Fans really wanted that ball. They disappeared. Later in that same game, McGwire up again facing Don Paul. This would not end well for Don.
Don Paul, the pitch, swing, and there it is! There it is, number 57, a new National League home run champion, Mark McGwire.
So back to Wednesday now. McGwire in the present. Sausages. His 52nd of the year, a 459-foot shot, his 494th as a first baseman, breaking Gehrig's record. And after the game, veteran umpire Frank Poley gets the game ball after his final game, pending the, of course, grievance hearing. 17th time in 99 that both Sosa and McGwire have homered on the same day. They did it 21 times in 98. Cardinals won it 9-3. Florida has now lost 10 of their last 13. Cards have now won 2 straight. Meanwhile, he moved
7, Cubs 55 as we speak. The Cards and the Brewers. Mac trying to get some back. Top first. Scott Carl feeding them, and Mac was hungry. The bomb, towering drive is 53rd. Cards up 1-0. Carl against McGwire again, and Mac wins. Another bomb to left, and 54th of the year. Cards up 3-0. Bottom 11 now, nobody out, bases loaded, game tied at 4, and Juan Acevedo hits Mark Loretta, and that's how it ends. The Brewers win it 5-4. As for Mac, he's now tied with Mel Ott for 14th place on the home run list with 511. He's just one behind Ernie Banks and Eddie Matthews. The Cards' 16-game winner, Kent Bottenfield, will miss his start Saturday with a flexor strain.
Amazing game last night for St. Louis.
2 more home runs. When he gets into the groove, there's no telling what he'll do. Last night, the first time up, he hit a shot that almost cleared the bleachers. Then he hit his second home run the third time up, a 2-run shot. He's the kind of guy, when he gets in a groove, he hits them in bunches. 10 times this year, he has hit home runs in back-to-back games. So when you watch Mark McGwire get into the act, you just say, uh-oh. Uh-oh, he's on the ball, and here they go.
Well, for a man that's hit 500-plus home runs in his career, it's no surprise how Mark McGwire got to this point in his career. In fact, Jim Lefevre, the Brewer manager, was a former coach of his and is still very impressed.
First of all, I've never seen a guy more dedicated in working out. He works out every single day. The man is big and he's strong and works at it really hard. He does his hitting routines, a little soft toss every single day. When he goes out and takes his batting practice, he is so focused and locked in. That's why people like to come out and watch him hit.
Slider. For a couple of seasons, it has just been fantastic. It's been there for him almost every night, and it's sort of disappeared last couple of weeks. Troubles really kind of started, I guess, in Coors Field. He's going to need that good slider now.
Home run number 55 for Mark McGwire, a 3-run homer in the 8th. 11-5 St. Louis. And Mark McGwire, with 512 career home runs, is tied with Eddie Matthews and Ernie Banks for 12th place on the all-time home run list.
Well, that was the slider that got hit out of the ballpark. Mike right now really kind of searching for some answers. Why has this been unhittable for almost 2 seasons, and now they are constantly getting centered of late.
On baseball tonight, it's the Pirates and the Cards. It's Chris Benson versus Kent Pottenfield to start things off. Benson here in the bottom of the 5th, 2 on for Craig Paquette, and that's not what Benson wanted. Ripping that one, 3-run shot. Cards going up 7-3 for Paquette, his 8th home run of the year. Bottom of the 8th, 2 on for Mark McGwire. Full analysis there, Harold. Got a good piece, what? Benson. Yeah. You know, got a pitch inside that he was looking for, and see you later. And it's 55 now, and Mark McGwire putting that out 2 for 3 with the home run, 55 home runs, and again, Sammy Sosa still at 59 after the 0 for 6 night. He's got a 4 RBIs in this one, so he's up to 127 RBI on the year. So 11
book. The first pair of 20-game winners on the same staff since '93. Both had a shot at winning number 21 this weekend against St. Louis. Significant because it would tie the Stros team record for most wins by a starter in the season, set of course by Joe Niekro in 1979. Lima, who was first at 20, got the first shot at 21. Warren Bush and Mark McGwire's back in the lineup. 4th inning, Cards down 4-3, bases loaded, starting for the first time in 3 games because of that sore groin. I'm thinking that groin is just fine. Grand slam, 56 home run of the year, 2nd grand slam, Cardinals up 7-4. Next batter, Thomas Howard says gravity takes a holiday. His 3rd home run, back-to-back jobs, but wait, hang on, we're not done. Fernando Tatis says, I'm not picking on you, it's just my job. It's 29th, 3 in a row, the first time the Cards have done that in 35 years. Leo gives up 9 runs in the 4th, 9, and the Cardinals win 11-8. The slam, by the way, McGwire's 13th, tying him with Harold Baines and Robin Ventura for the most among active leaders. It was also career home run number 513, moving him past Ernie Banks and Eddie Matthews on the all-time list into 11th place alone. But for Mac, the most important thing, it moved his team into the win column.
As a hitter, you know you have to be aggressive. Doesn't mean he throws it down the middle. I mean, you know, he pecks the corner with whatever he decides to throw at that given time, and you got to be aggressive. And that's why he wins 20 games, and I think more pitchers should follow the way he throws.
In a situation like this, you know, when someone's not able to go, to be able to step in and, you know, just do the job.
So the Stros lose. What about the Reds? Start of the night 3.
Roger Cedeno 3 for 4 with a home run. Mike Piazza with a home run as well. Brewers and Cubs. Sammy finally got 60, bottom 1 against Hideo Nomo.
3-2.
Circle gets the square. Number 61. It went off of a windshield on Waveland. People were chasing it. 485 feet that one went. Sosa went 2 for 5, 2 RBIs, and he ended up scoring the winning run. Cubs win, 8-7 the final. Of the 127 homers over the last 2 seasons for Sammy, 18 of them have come off of Brewer pitching. Cubs keep pace with Sammy, though, 59 wins to his 61 homers, so they are just 2 back now. Astros and Cardinals. Mark McGwire standing in and cranking one. McGwire taking that thing out as he tries to reel in Sammy just a little bit, but McGwire was not quite finished. In the 6th with nobody out and the score tied at 2. McGwire goes yard again. Mark McGwire, a couple of home runs, but St. Louis down to Houston 3-2, and there is Mark Bagwell. Mark Bagwell is having an MVP type of season, and he smacks a home run right there to win this thing for Houston. 4-3 the final, and that one.
Again, here comes Mark McGwire. This guy always worries you, but if you get past McGwire, it's the Langford-Howard-Tatis 8th inning looking ahead that really gets you nervous. So here's McGwire. He has struck out twice, both times swinging. Been on that slider. He's not come close a single time tonight. There's a drive. Hammered straight away center. Lance back to the track. At the wall. It's gone. Mark McGwire breaks up the no-no. Breaks up the perfect game. And breaks up the scoreless duel with his 59th home run of the year, and he hit it like a rocket into center field.
Well, that shows you when the big boys hit him, the wind doesn't matter very much, and Mark McGwire has rained on the parade for John Lieber and the Cubs. So Sammy now leading by just 2. McGwire shows you that wind a non-factor with guys the strength of McGwire and Sosa.
And John made a mistake, Stoney. That ball was right down the middle.
Well, he did it last time also and got away with one in the 4th on a slider down the middle. McGwire swung through it, but that time he made him pay.
So John retires the first 20 Cardinals, and then McGwire hits a homer, and now Langford with a bunt right toward 3rd, and an infield hit with 2 outs.
We'll take a look at the home run once again. And this one gets too much of the plate. And Big Mac taking a look at it. Boy, he gets good extension, just flips the bat away. And it sails just far enough. The wind trying to knock it down, but not for that guy.
59 home runs for Mark McGwire. And man, that thing jumped off his bat like a cannon. Here's Thomas Howard, and he hits a bullet deep toward right, and Sammy turns and admires that, and how quickly has this game changed?
Well, it was Thomas Howard that I've been afraid of tonight, and it was Thomas Howard that gave the Cardinals a bigger lead. The perfect game goes by the boards, and seemingly in the blink of an eye, the Cubs trail by 3. As Howard hits his 5th home run, drives in runs 22 and 23. Not quite as dramatic as Big Mac's 136, but equally as effective as Howard goes on to Sheffield.
Might even have been more effective. Max was a solo shot. Howard's a 2-run pop, and the Cardinals have a 3-0 lead. So Tatis. This one to left center field, and that ball is going to reach the seats. What happened to the wind?
Well, when you hit line drives, the wind has very little effect. And John Lieber has given up now 5 straight hits, 3 of them home runs. He trails by 5. And you talk about the wheels coming off the cart.
Boy, this is a humbling game, is it not? John had them talking to themselves. But 5 straight Cardinals have hit safely.
McGwire, Howard, and Drew have homered. And the Redbirds now lead it 5-0.
Not much doubt about this. A high fastball and a line drive. And Drew has enough power to take it out with his 13th homer. He's driven in 38.
Another base hit. 6 in a row. And after shying away from the bat rack, the Cardinals are now running toward
Aaron for third all time. Monday, Mac, Sammy, head-to-head. Let's play with some numbers just for yucks. Mac, 58 jacks, 12 games left. His best 12-game run ever, 11 home runs. That'd be 69. Sosa, 61 dingers, 13 games left. His best 13-game run, 12. That'd be 73 for you non-math majors.
From the wonderful world of sports, we bring you Home Run Derby.
Woo! Top one, John Lieber tells Mark McGwire, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here. Lieber came in 0-7 his last 12 starts. Bottom one, Sammy Sosa. He had the home run lead last year, all of 102 minutes. This year, 58 days, rocking a fat bat to right, but 16-mile-per-hour winds blow it back. Top four, McGwire went down again. Mark McGwire, 8 pitches, 2 strikeouts, no contact. He said Lieber's stuff was nasty. Lieber perfect through 4. Top 7, McGwire trying to break up a perfect game. Matt, can you hit it? Say you way.
High fly ball into right center field. This may go all the way. It's way back there and gone into the right center field bleachers.
Come up with a home run call, why don't you? 59 for McGwire, 129 over his last 2 years, breaking his own record from 97 to 98. 2 batters later, Thomas Howard. If you can rack the pitch, say you way. Howard, 15th homer of the year. 2 more batters. J.D. Drew, if you can do it, say you way. His 13th, 8 straight hits for the Cards. Are up 5-zip. Bottom 9, Sosa one last chance. With McGwire looking on, Ricky Bacalico schools Sammy. Sammy stuck in 61. Mark Thompson, 6 shutout innings for the win. Said John Lieber about the 8 straight hits he surrendered after retiring the first 20 batters and striking out 9 of the first 17 batters. Quote, that's baseball. I can think about this the rest of my life and kick myself to death, but I don't believe in all that. I made mistakes when I shouldn't have. Right about that, Mac made him pay with his 4th homer in 4 games.
I can't remember ever. You guys might have to check it. How can you ever see somebody have a perfect game and all of a sudden 8 straight hits? You know, he was flat out nasty. I was really surprised that the ball carried that far after Sammy's first at bat. I don't know how his didn't get out. And then I saw the way I hit mine, and I'm running down the line. I'm saying it's not enough because of the wind, and lucky enough it was.
Mr. McGwire, meet the Cubs. Oh, sorry, introduction's not necessary. Over the last 2 seasons, Mac has 12 jacks against the Cubs, his most against anybody. Sammy Sosa has just 7 homers in those.
All 5 World Series as well. All the Reds with a chance to take the wild card spot for themselves. Cards and Reds, top of the 8th. Cardinals down 4-1. Mark McGwire at bat. Mark McGwire. Hey, a guy hit 60 home runs again. Puts that out on Scott Sullivan. Second player to hit 60 home runs in back-to-back seasons. It's 4-2 in the game. Top of the 9th, down 4-2. And Fernando Tatis, 2-run home run. That's out 4-4, all tied up. And the scoreboard beats, I'm sure they go into extra innings. Scoreboard shows the Mets lose. Reds could go a game up in the wild card. They know at bottom of the 9th. Mike Cameron, winning run at second base potentially, but no, won't get there. Sean Casey grounding into the double play. Go to extra innings. Top of the 12th. 2 outs, 1 on for Edgar Renteria. Hard, going to get up on top here. Renteria hits this on Scott Williamson. That's hopping over. Double. Greg Paquette scores 5-4 Cards. Bottom of the 12th, though, it's not over yet. 2 on for Pokey Reese. Pokey Reese ends it. Reds win it. 3-run home run. Come from behind win. Obviously a huge win. Reds had a 4-1 lead in the 7th. Lost it.
The pitch, sidearm, high fly ball, way back. Adios. Absolutely crushed by McGwire, number 60. 60 for McGwire. 2 years in a row.
Wasn't any doubt about it, was there? He got a fastball, and wow, did he murder that baby. So he breaks that 0 for 13 slump with a double down the right field side off of a Guzman, and then he lights Sullivan up. big time, number 60. He had 70 last year, 60 this year. 100. Can you imagine that? 130 home runs in 2 years.
Sharing top billing with the Reds is Big Red, Mark McGwire. Mac joined Sammy Sosa at the 60 home run plateau yesterday. Those two the only ever to reach that mark in back-to-back seasons. Mac with 400 home runs in this decade alone, looking to make it back-to-back home run days, and he connects. Top of the fourth off a Ron Vallone. Look at that blast. 474 feet, upper deck, number 61. And McGwire is now tied with Sammy Sosa. He also tied the game at 1. Bottom of the sixth, the Cards were up 6-1. Dimitri Young, though, cuts into the lead off of Garrett Stevenson, his 13th, and the comeback is on. It's now 6-3, St. Louis. 6-5 now. Bottom of the seventh, Eddie Taubensee. He also delivers to the upper deck, number 21. And the comeback is complete. Taubensee gets the high fives around because the Reds come back to beat St. Louis 9-7.
Big Mac in the first is 2 with San Diego. So no homer for Sammy, but Mark McGwire did have one. A very long one in the opener against San Diego. Number 62 ties the game at 2. Now, check out Stewart, this fan in the red who goes for the ball. With what? He wants the ball. Bad hot. Goes back on the field. Ruben Rivera flips it up. Where's he going? Oh my God, I'm so excited. He got it. And he has a nice hat as well. Good lid. More fan action. As you can tell, McGwire didn't homer again in this game. The fan, nice grab. He's day-to-day, and his son gets the ball. We believe that's a generation of family right there.
He didn't go on the 15-day fan deal?
No, he did not. When Matt Clement gave up number 62, he became the 54th different pitcher taken deep by McGwire this year. The 462-foot blast was career homer 519, leaving McGwire 2 behind Ted Williams and Willie McCovey on the all-time list. He's already passed Winfield, Stargell, Musial, Gehrig, Murray, Ott, Matthews, and Banks on that list this season. Nightcap me. Tony Gwynn back in St. Louis for the first time since that whole 3,000-hit, 500-homer hoopla series. Gwynn went 7 for 8 in the doubleheader, raised his average 7 points to 339. And since we're all nostalgic for that series, why not have Andy Ashby face Mark McGwire? Ashby gave up home run number 500 and home run number 63. McGwire takes him gone. Second homer of the doubleheader. He leads the NL with 145 ribbies. Top of the 10th. We're tied at 5. Some defense. Fernando Tatis robs Eric Owen on the bunt attempt. And the Cardinals win 6-5. So Sammy was the first to 60, 61, and 62 for the second straight time. But Big Mac beats him to 63 and thus holds sole possession in this home run race for the first time since August 19th. What is more stunning is McGwire homered twice and the Cardinals won twice, improving to 23 and 31 when he homers. So 63 homers off of 54 pitchers. That must mean McGwire's gone yard multiple times off of somebody, and that somebody is Ashby, who McGwire has taken deep 4 times this season, 5 times including last season. This all has the distinct aroma of Did You Know, in case you didn't know. Rick Reed gave up career homer number 400 to McGwire last May, and since then McGwire has hit 120 home runs. Sick. Well, the AL is trying to...
Forget about it.
It's the Budweiser Game of the Month, brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, official beer of Major League Baseball. This Bud's for you.
Welcome to St. Louis, Missouri, and welcome to our final Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week, the Chicago Cubs and the St. Louis Cardinals. And now welcome to the broadcast booth, everyone. I'm Joe Buck, along with my partner, Tim McCarver. Tim, I find it amazing that Mark McGwire finds it amazing that we all care to be here the final weekend of the year. True, there are pennant races that are starting to really heat up in the National League, but let's be honest. Somebody admit to me, please, that they enjoy watching a home run chase part 2.
Well, I'll admit it. Everybody thinking last year might be an aberration, but this year, once again, McGwire and Sosa leading the major leagues in home runs. That's the first time since 1947 and 48 when Ralph Kiner and Johnny Mize led the leagues in home runs, but they didn't do it nearly to the degree that McGwire and Sosa are doing it.
So even though they are incredulous that we are here, they can't believe that we would bother to swoop down here as a network and watch the Cardinals and Cubs, watch McGwire and Sosa go head-to-head. We're going to do it anyway, and we're going to enjoy every doggone minute of it. Sosa, McGwire, head-to-head matchup as they wind down 1999. It's 63-62. Baseball next.
I know what Mark was thinking on that. He's thinking that, well, the ball is shallow, so what I'll do, I'll be in front of the third baseman, Tatis, to try to get him to cut the ball off. But unfortunately for the Cubs, Sosa was not running. So it looked kind of foolish with Mark trying to go to third base.
Paquette is gone. 2 up, 2 down in a hurry here in the bottom of the first inning. And McGwire walks in. The broadcast also available in Spanish by utilizing the SAP button on your television. And here we go. We've already had half of round 1. Here's the rest of it. Sosa watching from deep right. He took a fly ball in last night on the track off the bat of McGwire in Mark's second at bat. McGwire, with his 63 home runs, stands in. Facing Lorraine. Taking ball 1 low. McGwire is 1 career home run short of a tie for 10th on the all-time list. Willie McCovey, Ted Williams next. The 1-0, 2-0.
Mark McGwire with 145 RBIs and only 143 hits. No player has ever had more RBIs than hits in Major League history. That's with a minimum of 100 hits in any 1 year.
Here comes the 2-0 to McGwire. 3-0 as Lorraine trying to hit that outside corner, and Cardinal and Cub fans boo Andrew Lorraine. They're here to watch these two swing the bat. The 3-0. He doesn't do it often into deep center field on 3-0. 64. Count on one hand in the last 2 years the number of times McGwire has swung on 3-0.
I didn't know that, Joe.
He does not offer at 3-0 pitches often at all, but this is not a usual circumstance with McGwire and Sosa. 1 home run separating them, now 2. And there is number 521 to tie Willie McCovey and Ted Williams for 10th on the all-time home run list. Strike 1 on Tatis.
What a great shot of Sosa in the right-hand corner. Nodding, saying, yep, he did it.
So McGwire, who hit 75 in the final weekend last year against the Montreal Expos, gets his first of this series and his 64th of the year. 1 game, by the way. That's what I do these games all the time, and all you think about is a home run, and then you look at the score. Oh, wait a minute, that tied the game.
Yeah, that tied the game, right.
He can downplay it all he wants. The home run record, first and foremost, 70 last year, is extremely important to him. and now winning again in the second year, the year after hitting 70, is almost on par with it. As Tatis is the two-hopper to Nieves, and the Cardinals are finished in the first inning. Now 2 home runs separate McGwire and Sosa. Swinging on 3-0. Little mystical look at McGwire. More magic here at Busch Stadium for Big Mac. We're tied at 1. For Stevenson. That guy just went to call his lawyer. Cubs go in order in the second inning. Bottom of the second rolls in. Perez, McEwing, Castillo. Get to know that guy. He's going to be worth something in a moment.
One in Milwaukee, one here in St. Louis.
McGwire hitting his first home run on a 3-0 count since 1997 and his 64th of this season, back in the first inning, and he waits on deck. Right now it's Paquette. Struck out his first time. He's been bothered by a rib cage strain for the last 3 days. Strike 2.
Joe, did you happen to notice the grain on Mark McGwire's bat? Those wide grains? Well, he used it his first at bat. And Lorraine misses with the first 3, and Mark McGwire doesn't miss with the 4th pitch.
That grain sounded good.
Oh, man. Grain's very good for you. Oat bran, wide grain. Good roughage in that bat.
You had to go that far with it?
Well, you know. Why not?
There you go.
That bat right there, that wide grain, and you can see it. I mean, that bat is made of thunder.
Renteria stealing third, and no chance for Reed. Edgar picked the right pitch and looks to run. Stolen base number 37. In Mark McGwire.
That away, Zach. You want to say hi to Matthew? I'm taping, but he's probably playing golf, huh?
No, he's at Disneyland right now. Birthday party.
Okay, wish him happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Matt.
All right.
Mark McGwire, who celebrated a birthday yesterday, number 36, wishing a happy birthday to his son, Matt. A breaking ball is in for a strike to Shane Andrews.
Pentland believes he can bring around even that much better.
So 1 out here in the first for center fielder J.D. Drew. Drew hitting .241 with 13 home runs for St. Louis. Everybody says, Stoney, this guy is going to be a star. That guy right there already is.
I would say when you've averaged 60 home runs over the last 4 years, you fall into that star category.
What do you think Drew's got to work on, though, to be the kind of player the Cardinals thought he would be when they took him in the draft?
I just think he needs at-bats in the major league. He already has the ability to spray the ball all over, and he will show more power as soon as he understands how the pitchers are trying to work him. But that takes some time. You know, this is a guy that went right from the Northern League with the St. Paul Saints right into professional baseball, essentially to the big leagues with a stop in the minor leagues, but a very short stop. And maybe he could have benefited from a full year at AAA. We'll never know. But I believe he's got enough ability to play in the major leagues and play consistently well. The question is, can he play center field well enough on a daily basis?
He swings and misses that pitch badly. Molina recovers, and he is struck out. And listen to the Redbird roar for Mark McGwire, who cracked number 64 yesterday.
It was a 3-0 fastball from Andrew Lorraine, one of the few pitches Big Mac had to hit all day. And the only time since he's put on that Cardinal uniform that he's hit a 3-0 home run. So Andrew figured he had something going for him. And he did. It was home run number 64.
You saw that sign, says walk your dog, not McGwire. How about win the game and then walk your dog? That's a troublesome sign that I think McGwire has been talking about the last couple of seasons here in St. Louis. He's very proud of his records, as is Sammy Sosa, but both men have been very clear it's irrelevant in this scheme of things because their teams haven't been winning. And the chorus of boos, 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, they did pitch to Sammy. And I think Steve Trexler is trying to pitch to McGwire, but he knows that McGwire's hit a couple of home runs off him, and he's hit 333 against him lifetime.
Including
number 62.
That one pops back and into the upper deck. Fine catch by one of the Cardinal fans here in St. Louis. And there was the spot. Boy, you talk about poetic justice. No fan caught that record-setting ball.
Remember the grounds crew?
Just picked it up and gave it to McGwire. No selling of the baseball, no controversy whatsoever, and Tim Forneris, boy, what a hero he should be in this town, and I think he is already. Didn't make the millions from selling the baseball, gave it to McGwire, but has earned himself an awful lot of great publicity and admiration here in St. Louis, and that's worth its weight in gold. The 2-2.
Swung on, belted straight away, center field. Lance turns, and it's long gone. Wow!
Well, maybe that's the reason not to pitch to Big Mac. That's the third he's hit off Traxel. This is number 65. And if there was any drama in the home run race, that will about do it. RBI number 147. He now leads Matt Williams by 2. And Chip, when you want to talk about long home runs to straightaway center, that was real long. That one hop to hitting background.
Unbelievable. Well, remember last summer, McGwire hit 4 home runs in the last 2 days of the season. Yeah, he's got to take a curtain call. Does he have a flair for the dramatic or what?
He's so enormously strong that if he gets a pitch down and out over the plate, he doesn't ground it. He doesn't hit it for a single. He just hits it out of the park.
Now Tatis hits a drive pretty deep to right. Sammy Sosa on the run puts that away, and the inning is over. Boy, oh boy, they're cheering across the country, in radio and TV booths, in saloons and taverns, and even in the living rooms as well. Mark McGwire one-hops the hitting background into straightaway center field. His 65th makes it 1-0.
It looked like a curveball to me, and we'll see it again.
Maybe a slider.
Well, it was down, and Mark got all the extension you needed, and all he does is look up, throws away the bat, because that was a no-doubter. Watch Lance. He took a step and looked up and just admired this one. One hop to hitting background. Wow.
So GN. One more curtain call for Willie McGee. He was inserted into the game in left field. Now he's taken out, and look at the reception he gets from his teammates. One of the greatest Cardinals in the history of this illustrious franchise.
Well, Tony La Russa, really a class act, let Willie go out to left field and let the fans salute him one more time before then taking him out of the game.
Boy, at a time like that, as a player, your throat's got to feel like you got a giant apple stuck in. Chad Myers is going to come on to pinch hit, but the crowd won't let Willie McGee fade away without one more curtain call. Come on, Willie, one more time. Here he comes. There he comes.
Hardest part of that for Willie McGee, I'm sure, Chip, was coming out for the curtain call, because he's been one of the most humble of all ball players you ever want to be around. Joe McEwing takes over. A very misty-eyed Willie McGee might have just ended it as far as A wonderful career. Most of it spent right here in St. Louis.
So get the tarp off here in the next few minutes. Now they're starting to scurry. I think they're going to take it off pretty quickly. And here's a look at the 2 home runs that we've seen today. This one a cannon shot by Mark McGwire, folks. Look where this ball hits.
We didn't get an estimate on that. It had to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 475, 480 feet. Sammy just shakes his head. That was gone in a heartbeat. But Sammy had some heroics stored up, and in the 3rd inning, he came on with the Cubs down 4-1. And Sammy at this point was down 3 home runs. But he quickly got within 2, and he got one up and out over the plate, hitting his 63rd. He's driven in 141. And at the time, it tied the game at 4.
But now when we resume play, it's a 9-4 game in favor of the Cardinals. The Cubs. Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire head-to-head one more time here in 1999. And what a finish. We'll be back. Captured the headlines and the imaginations of the baseball public as they once again chased each other in a dramatic home run challenge that ended up today here in St. Louis. The story started early. Mark McGwire in the 1st inning. Remember, he hit number 62 against Steve Traxel last year? Well, number 65 one-hops the hitter's background and straightaway center field. That put the Cardinals in front 1-0, and even Sammy Sosa had to admire that long blast by McGwire, who today became the first man in the history of Major League Baseball to finish the year with more runs batted in than base hits. That is an astounding achievement for Mark McGwire. Meanwhile, Sammy Sosa also had some fun today. Hammered that Larry Luber's delivery, a 3-run shot into the seats and left for Sammy Sosa, his 63rd and final home run of the season. Not enough, though, for the Cubs, however, as we fall by a final score of 9-5. No matter who finishes 1st or 2nd in the home run race, both Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire have an awful lot to be proud of. Both men true winners in the truest sense of the word. Both men would put their home run records on hold and see their Cubs, or their clubs, especially the Cubs, win more ball games. That didn't happen here in 1999, but certainly there's a chance for that for both teams in the year 2000. It'll be a new century, and hopefully for the Cubs, a more successful one as we once again try to get into the postseason consistently and perhaps win that elusive World Series title that we've been seeking since 1908. 9-5 our final. The 10th inning show rolls on from Busch Memorial Stadium.